Hey guys, it's Spec and I'm bringing you guys a video that I've actually wanted to bring up for a while now. So guys, before I go on, I just want to mention I'm not the best commentator. I'm not anywhere near that, so just bear with me here because I'm going to try to get my point through anyway. In a broad sense, the main point of this video is basically point out the flaws in the current flood game type. I'm going to explain why I think there are flaws, and I'll go on further about what those flaws are and how we can actually go to maybe possibly eliminate those flaws and make it so that the flood game type will be more playable, more enjoyable, and just a better overall game for almost everyone. I think that's a huge thing. So I really hope 343 can listen to us and hopefully take what we have to say. By the way, I just want to mention that I love 343. They're an amazing company. They've done a lot of good things to Halo 4, so I'm really glad for that. In my opinion, Halo 4 is still a great game, but there's definitely some things, especially the things I love like Flood, that could be changed and be made even better. So what I'm going to discuss here is actually Flood, Hive Mind, Last Stand, what the community wants, and a huge thank you from us, the fans, because just even listening to this would mean so much to me and everyone else who is watching this, I hope anyway. After you watch the video, please express your views on Halo 4's Flood down in the comments section below. It would be truly appreciated, and it would let 343 Industries know the community's opinion on Flood and other Flood game types. So, the first topic is going to be about Flood. Flood was a game type that started it all in Halo 4. It was the original infection game type in Halo 4, and there have been many different variants of it. For example, Hive Mind and Last Stand. However, I'm not sure it actually reached its full potential. Flood gradually became boring, and I could play maybe tops an hour, but as for now, I can maybe play it for 30 minutes, if that. Of course, this includes the other game types such as Hive Mind and Last Stand too. I'm not sure I can actually fully explain why I can only play for that much time, but I'm only just gonna assume here, to be honest, that it's because of really just everything in the game type as a whole. I mean, it's not terrible, obviously. It's still a good game type, but there's just something about it that I guess it's repetitive. I don't like the new whole bunch of weapons approach. It's been hard to get used to, and I don't even know if it's about getting used to. I just don't think it works that well in Infection, in my opinion. Not in a matchmaking Infection game type, anyway. Of course, this just isn't limited to me. I've talked to some of my friends who are really high top ranks in Living Dead, and they also agree with me. So I'm still skeptical if it's a big community agreement, but I know a lot of high top Living Dead players aren't a big fan of Flood or most of the different game types in Flood. So I'm just going to list a few things that I believe are flaws and some other people believe they are, but you guys can discuss that down in the comments. One major thing that really isn't appealing to me is the thruster pack. I cannot stand it. Um, it's not even the fact that it's annoying, it's just so hard to play Flood when you see Flood just flying around going at that speed, and they can actually kill you while they're thruster packing. Some people might find that as a fun concept, but I know a lot of people who do not like it, and it makes it really not appealing for so many people. And I know that what the majority thinks isn't always right, but in this case, it's a game, and Halo's Infection needs to be revived somehow, because even with the new edition of the game type, it's still back to its low numbers, and that has to say something, guys. I'm sorry, but Flood just needs to be revamped somehow. Another thing that the thruster pack has impacted is the want for getting last man standing. And I think this is a huge issue because you should want last man standing because the whole point of it is to potentially kill more Flood. I mean, that's really the kind of whole point of getting it, like, but it's literally in Flood right now where you actually want to not get last man because then you have everyone trying to go for you. and when you have a few zombies going at you with a thruster pack, you're pretty much done. I mean, you almost don't stand a chance sometimes. I'd say most of the time, actually, at least 95% of the time. That's for me anyway, and I consider myself at least a decent Flood player. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to mention one more thing about Flood, and that's the lunge distance. Lunge distance in Flood, and this applies to other Flood game types, is just horrible. It's horribly long. Um, it makes it very unenjoyable. It makes it so unexpected for when you're gonna die. And I don't know, maybe that's a good thing, but I think the whole point here is that it's actually annoying and makes it very unplayable. Um, it really increases the amount you get vultures too. I don't know why, but I get a lot more vultures on Halo 4 than I get on Halo Reach, and that has to say something. That's pretty bad, because in Halo Reach you get a lot of vultures. And sorry, when I mean vulture, I mean inaccurate vulture, which is basically when you and the Flood both die at the same time, and technically this shouldn't be happening, but it does because of lag issues. But it's definitely more possible in Halo 4 because the lunge distance is just so long. I hope I at least kind of expressed my views about Flood. I definitely don't do as well as I do with saying it in voice rather than text. I'm much better with writing in text than voice, so that's something I should note too. So I'm gonna move on to Hive Mind now. Hive Mind was a second game type that was added to Flood matchmaking. It has a different weapon approach to infection, and there are different maps that can be played on it. Your goal in this game type is to get the best weapons possible, and as you'll need them to survive. Personally, Hive Mind is the game type in Flood that I do not like the most, and there's definitely reasons for that. In Hive Mind, there's a different approach to how humans and Flood are balanced. So basically, humans have to be hit twice by a Flood to die, and their shields recharge within, I believe, 30 to 40 seconds, I believe. So they have that amount of time to have their shield regenerate, or if it doesn't regenerate in time, they'll die in one hit, basically. Now, if you get Last Man Standing in this game type, you are very powerful. Your weapon damage is increased by a significant amount. Um, you just become very strong. It's very easy to get multi-kills if you're in the right spot. You can even use your assault rifle and still completely pwn the Flood. Not only that, but it's actually like you're encouraged to camp in this game type because you're going to want to camp to get Last Man Standing, but the only thing is, there's going to be other players camping to try to get Last Man Standing. So it's actually a very kind of slow game because you have so many people camping at the same time, and you have to wait until you maybe get that moment of being Last Man Standing. So once again, there's a lot of things I could say about Hive Mind, but I need to keep this video as short as I can. But overall, I'm not a big fan of Hive Mind. There are a lot of people that aren't big fans of Hive Mind, and I think that had to be said. So finally, we're going to talk about the newest and last current game type in Flood, which is called Last Stand. Last Stand is a holdout type of game. Different weapons spawn on the map, and it's encouraged to get the best weapons to stay alive. The jump function in this game type is disabled to make an intense and closed-off feel to the game. So, what's my overall thoughts on it, and what are the thoughts that I've seen a lot of other people mention? I think this game type actually has a lot of potential. However, it does kind of feel like a revamped version of Hive Mind. I mean, think about it. Different weapons respawn on the map. When you're Last Man Standing, you're freaking powerful. The only difference really is that there's no jump. The maps are different. I don't know what else. Uh, I guess the Floods spawn outside of the map and where they can jump from different places to get you, but I can't really think of anything else that's different when related to Hive Mind. However, I do believe that the camping in Last Stand is just unbearable. I mean, there are literally humans camping where zombies usually spawn just to kill you, and how do the Flood, sorry I know I keep calling them zombies, but I'm just used to it, but how do the Flood get the humans. I know they had to be strategic, but how are you going to do that when you're probably matched up with some random and you're not communicating with them? Um, I try to get Flood to help me all the time when I'm a Flood in Last Stand, but they don't. They just wander off and try to go by their own. And it just doesn't work like that in Last Stand. You have to work as a team or you're basically screwed. I mean, so overall in this game type, humans are overpowered, like, insanely. Like, it is bad. Um, so really, it's fun for the humans, kind of, but just horrible for the Flood, in my opinion. However, I guess there are some good maps. I think there's, what's it called? Constellation is a pretty good map for Flood, I think. Substance is just, in my opinion, sorry, a really bad map for Flood. It's so hard to get the humans if there's only 2 Flood at the start. It just doesn't work out at all. You just have a whole bunch of people spamming their assault rifle at you, to be honest, and I'm not just making this up. I could show my gameplays, it's all the same when I'm in Flood. So that's definitely a huge issue, in my opinion, with Last Stand. On the positive side, though, the maps were designed very nicely, in my opinion, and it does feel a lot smoother than Hive Mind does. So the big question here is, how can we resolve Flood? How can we revamp the Flood playlist to be more entertaining and more playable than it currently is? My suggestion is that 343 literally brings back an accurate remake of Halo Reach's Living Dead. Obviously the maps would be different, but the famous gameplay of Living Dead would be nearly the same. Although it may sound unrealistic, Halo Reach's Living Dead has literally been an icon for Halo since its release. I mean, there was a Living Dead in Halo 3, and even that was really popular when they would just have it on weekends as events. It was so liked by many people, and it was so liked on Halo Reach, and it still is. I mean, there are literally more people on Halo Reach's Living Dead than there is on Halo 4's Flood. I'm sorry, but once again, that has to say something. That is very important, and I really do hope 343 is looking into this. There's something about Halo Reach's Living Dead that just clicks with so many people. Maybe it's a one-shot headshot magnum. Maybe it's the way Last Man Standing works. It could possibly be because zombies didn't have power-ups that didn't make them overpowered. Whatever it is, it all goes together somehow, and it's made thousands of players still actively play Living Dead to this day. Trust me, I know it's always not good to go back to the past, but sometimes in cases like this, it's really the only thing you can do, especially when you're trying to revive a game type. Um, Flood needs something like this, in my opinion. Flood needs to be repopulated in Halo 4, or it's just not going to be as fun for people who are really used to playing infection game types. And 343, I really hope that you watch this video. It would just mean so much to me, even if you only just watched it and did nothing about this situation. I know you guys are really about understanding your community and trying to get the updates that people will love, so I really hope you can do this. Once again, it would just mean so much to us, so much to a lot of people. Um, I've been a Living Dead player for a few years now. Actually, I started playing Halo 1 when I was 10, and I remember always playing this game type that would just involve the shotgun, and I remember going around everywhere and just killing everyone with a shotgun, and it was so fun, and I guess that's what made me start kind of liking Living Dead and Halo Reach, because something about the use of the shotgun was just so fun and entertaining, and it's such a fun gun to use for me and so many other people. So, I don't know, that's just a little personal experience there. Probably doesn't mean much, but I just really hope you can relate, and I hope something can happen, and I hope my suggestion can be implemented sometime. Um, I guess that's all I want to say for that. And of course, you deserve a huge thank you from us, the fans. So thank you so much for everything you've done for Halo 4. Thank you for the things you've been adding to Flood, because even just for that, I'm so thankful for that. There are just some things I just wanted to point out about them. Who knows, maybe they can even be fixed, but once again, I really would like the suggestion be implemented somehow. Once again, thank you so much for everything. It would mean a lot if this happened. It really would. Um, So guys, I guess that's it for this video. Please share with your friends. Please share anyone that has a passion for Living Dead, as I hope this will get big. I hope something can happen. Um, I guess that's it. I say a lot. Wow. So take it easy, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a good day.